We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for remaining with us. My name is Anthony, and you're watching Financial Markets, where we analyze and break down for you different segments of the financial markets here in East Africa, and also give you opportunities that are rising and the trends in the markets as well as we move forward. Now, before we go any further, let's remind ourselves of Altex East Africa, a very, very important initiative they are coming up with. Zabu. Now, this initiative has been, of course, a brainchild of Altex East Africa in conjunction with Altex Clearing, and they're giving you a chance to be able to purchase different debt instruments, that is the treasury bonds and the treasury bills, across East Africa, in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Kenya, with your mobile phone without even having to access the internet. All you have to do, if you're an MTN subscriber, is dial *292#, and then you will choose whether to buy or sell a particular bond, and you choose which kind of bond you're selling or buying, maybe 7 years, 10 years, 100 years, really 2 years, and so on. And then you put your amount of money that you're willing to invest, and then definitely your code, that is your PIN number, that will give you access to mobile money. And yes, you will have purchased yourself a bond or a bill, and they're saying this is a hassle-free way of getting to buy and access securities. Their market opens at exactly 8:15 a.m. and closes at 3:15. Altex East Africa, do something new, and definitely there are partners here that are trying to innovate and bring about accessibility to these markets. Now, let's get back to business now at, of course, the stock exchange. During Friday's trading, we said we only had 4 participants in trading, and we had 3 gainers and 7 losers. Well, let's have a look at the other companies that are trading on the stock market. Well, Bank of Baroda, Uganda, we have seen we're trading at 85 Ugandan shillings. And then British American Tobacco Uganda at exactly 15,000 shillings. Didn't have any movement, didn't have any volumes traded. And then we had Centum Investments at 304.8 Ugandan shillings. And they also didn't have any movements. And they just had a little bit of decline from about 4 shillings. Then Cipla Quality Chemicals at 70 Ugandan shillings, also didn't have any activity on the market. DFCU Bank was closing the day with a price of 547 shillings. And then East African Breweries Limited at 5,032.13 Ugandan shillings. And Equity Bank Limited also closed the day with a market price of 1,701.34 Ugandan shillings. Jubilee Holdings Limited at 7,907.63 Ugandan shillings was their closing price. Kenya Airways, we've seen them at 122 shillings at their closing price. And then KCB Bank at 1,353. MTN Uganda at 187.4 Ugandan shillings, and National Insurance Corporation at 6 Ugandan shillings, and the Nation Media Group at 608.65 Ugandan shillings. New Vision Printing and Publishing Company came in at 155 Ugandan shillings, and then Stanbic Bank Uganda came in at 21.24, and Uganda Clays at 19, while Wumeme came in at 200.0 Ugandan shillings. And these, of course, are the stock prices that opened the market today at exactly 9 a.m. East African Standard Time. Now let's cross over to Nairobi. But before we do that, we can look at also the trading summary here for the Uganda Securities Exchange, and we can see how the general trading happened and find out for the summary data. And now the summary data is stating that as of the end of Friday's trading session, the trading at the Uganda Securities Exchange had a total of 2,345,300 shares that are corresponding to a market value of 225,321,100 shillings that was traded, and compared with the previous Uganda Securities Exchange trading day, Thursday 11th of August, the trade shows a 414% improvement in the volumes. However, the current market capitalization is around 23.1 trillion Ugandan shillings at the moment. And that is a summary that winds up our day at the Uganda Securities Exchange. Now crossing over to Nairobi. Yes, well, we are coming out of the political season and the heat of politics in Kenya, and so is the Nairobi Securities Exchange going upwards within this period. Now we are seeing that the all-share index went up by 1.24 points on Friday, and we are seeing that on a daily they gained in terms of their all-share index, which is the benchmark index for the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And that was a decline of 1.93% the day before, but later on we had an increase before the close of the markets on Friday. In terms of the weekly performance, they gained by 3.96% on this particular all-share index, and a 4-week gain of 1.59% on the monthly counter, but an overall year-to-date loss of 11.76%. Other remarkable indices were the NSE 20 and the NSE 25, which also gained at 0.18% and 1.07% decline respectively for both the NSE 20 and the NSE 25. These monitor, remember, the top 25 and the top 20 companies respectively on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. The day ended in aggregate with 43 Nairobi Securities Exchange listed equities participate in the trading, with an end of day performance of 18 gainers and only 13 losers. Olympia Capital Holdings led the gainers at a 9.13% appreciation. That was Olympia Capital Holdings, OCH. He was followed by Britam, and Britam Holdings gained by 4.67%, closing at 6.28 Kenyan shillings per share. And then Nairobi Business Ventures at 3.89% gain, closing the day with the price of 3.47. And then moving down to Wumeme Limited also came out as a gainer at a gain of about 3.77%, closing the day with a price of 7.7. Another gainer there was Stanbic Bank Kenya as well. And those are some of the top counters that we are seeing on the Nairobi Securities Exchange for the Friday trading. Now, on the other side, we had the losing side, we had NCBA, who came out last with an end of day price depreciation of 4.73%. NCBA closed the day with a price of 26.2 Kenyan shillings after losing by 4.73% down during the market's trading on Friday. Then equity was another loser. Equity Group Holdings lost by 2.42%, down to 50.50 Kenyan shillings on Friday. And whereas Liberty Kenya Holdings at a 2.28% loss closed the day with a price of 6 Kenyan shillings. And then the HF Group lost by 2.23%, down to 3.5 Kenyan shillings. Whereas we had Safaricom also come out as a loser at 2.04% decline, down to 31.15 Kenyan shillings there on the stock market in Nairobi. Safaricom, however, still had the highest volume that was traded, and he traded about 1.33 million shares, and followed by CIC Insurance Company, who traded about 1.26 million shares, and then I&M Holdings at about 1.07 million shares, and then KenGen Group, who came in at 812,900 shares. Now, let's have a look at Olympia Capital Holdings, who came in as a top gainer here. Olympia Capital Holdings Limited is a Kenyan-based holding company, and its main investments are in companies dealing in the manufacture and sale of products used in the construction industry, including floor tiles, including adhesives, UPVC, windows and door frames, cleaning chemicals, as well as fire prevention equipment, and water pumps and real estate. It is a subsidiary, and its affiliated companies include Dunlop Industries Limited. We also have Olympia Capital Corporation Propriety Limited. We also have Kalahari Flow Tiles Propriety Limited, and then you have Goboron Enterprises Propriety Limited, and Avon Rubber Company Limited, and Martha and Platt Kenya Limited. Olympia Capital Holdings Limited is listed on the Nairobi Securities Exchange under the ticker symbol OCH. That's the symbol you'll find on NSE for this particular counter. And it's currently the 62nd most valuable stock, meaning it's coming really far in terms of the market capitalization, with a total market capitalization of only 95.6 million Kenyan shillings, which is about 0.0042% of the entire Nairobi Securities Exchange equity market. And yesterday, we're seeing it came out as one of the gainers on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Now, he closed the last day of trading with a total of about 2.39 Kenyan shillings per share on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, recording a 9.1% gain over its previous closing day of about 2.19 Kenyan shillings. Olympia Capital began the year with a price of 2 Kenyan shillings, however, and has since gained over 19.5% on their price valuation, ranking it the 5th best in terms of year-to-date performance. So Olympia Capital coming in very close in the top counters, coming at the year-to-date performance. So we can watch out for that as well. Now, Olympia Capital, in terms of trading, it is the 42nd most traded on stock within the last 3 months. That is from the 13th of May to the 12th of August 2022. And it has traded within this period a total of 187,300 shares over the period, with an average of 2,973 traded shares per session, and a volume high of 35,200 shares that was achieved on the 10th of June 2022 for the same period. And you can see the details here that they have at least 400, 800, 400, like that, a couple of shares that are traded almost daily there on Nairobi Stock Exchange. And yes, that is Olympia Capital Holdings for you. I always want to bring out these top counters, and we look at them in detail because they give you opportunity to invest elsewhere. You don't have to keep your mindset only on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Well, there are opportunities here as well for you. Let's look at Britam Holdings as well. slightly here because there was a second top gainers. Britam Holdings Limited were formerly known as the British American Investments Company, and it is a diversified financial services company based in Kenya, and the company was founded in 1965 and now commonly is known as Britam, and has headquarters in Nairobi, Kenya, with subsidiaries in Uganda, in Southern Sudan, in Rwanda, Tanzania, Malawi, and Mozambique. Now, the company, the flagship company of the group is the British American Insurance Company Limited, commonly referred to as the brand name Britam Kenya. Now, in 2011, the Britam listed its shares on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, and Britam operates in the following four market segments: the long-term insurance protection, and then this protection of customers against risks like premature death, disability, critical illness, and other accidents. It also has life insurance products ranging from life insurance like unit-linked products, and then education plans, whole life plans, and other conventional products. It also has short-term insurance, that is protection of assets, particularly properties, for both personal and commercial businesses. And asset management is another docket in which they are investing in, that is discretionary and or segregated portfolio of management, wealth management services, as well as unit trust funds. Remember the unit trust, that is the collective investment schemes? Yes, Britam Asset Managers still gives you that action. Now, on the NSE, in terms of value, they are the 16th most valuable stock on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, and they have a total value of 15.8, that is their market capitalization, 15.8 billion Kenyan shillings on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, and their last closing price was 6 Kenyan shillings after their gain there on a daily of 6.44%. Now, Britam Asset Managers began the year with a total price of about 7.5 Kenyan shillings, but have since lost 16.3% of that price valuation, ranking them the 55th in terms of year-to-date performance. However, they're the 17th most traded on stock, and within the last 3 months, and they have within this period traded a total of 87,856 total number of shares, with an average of about 87,000 per session. I said, sorry, we had over a total 5.5 million traded shares within 3 months, and an average of 87,000 per trading session, and a volume high of 1.03 million shares that was traded. Yes, they are a tradable stock within the Nairobi market, and you can check them out as well for more information regarding these Britam assets, and of course insurance company there on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. That winds up our market analysis for the day here on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Remember, your stockbroker is your number one agent. They give you access to these markets, and that's why the Uganda Securities Exchange, under its laws, under the act that this particular exchange operates, you will find that you cannot access the markets without going through a stockbroker. And in Uganda, we have 4 stockbrokers you can reach out to. Number 1, SBG Securities, and that is a Stanbic Uganda Holdings subsidiary. Number 2, you have Crested Capital. Number 3, you have Dyer and Blair, and then you also have UAP Old Mutual as well. Reach out to them, give them a call, get to their website, see what they're doing, and get interested and get started on your investment journey. Or you can open yourself an SCD account free of charge using your MTN line. If you're an MTN subscriber right now, you can open your phone and dial star 165 star 65 hash. I repeat, you can dial star 165 star 65 hash. And when you do that, you will be able to access the details there for filling in your personal identification number. That is your NIN number. And when you fill in your NIN number, they'll create you a database, of course, from your personal information on your national identification card. And they'll use that data to create for you an account. And this account will help you to be able to buy and sell shares on the stock market here in Uganda, very simply, very conveniently, at no single cost. And that definitely gives you action and an impactful exchange, which is trying to innovate for its people to see that we trade more. Thank you very much for deciding to stay with us till the end of the show. We are going to go into, of course, UG Tukole later on the show here. We're also going to have other programs like Skill Up and the like, and we hope you stick around at Smart 24 TV. My name is Anthony. I'll catch you tomorrow, same time, same place. Keep watching Smart 24 TV, where we drive your business.